Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Um, so you guys have noticed I've been going through a lot of my previous videos that I have posted and uploading some of them, and also I started to upload some of the emails and letters that I received um on Instagram, and I put those links on Facebook because those photos are on Facebook too. But for people who don't have Facebook, they can, look at that on Instagram. Um, I'm just really like showing the world the hell that I went through, what this journey was like. And, I think it's very important to tell my story. Um, because so many injustices occurred, so many laws were broken. I went through so many inhumane things, and I don't feel that the people that hurt me have really faced too many consequences for the actions, um, for their actions, the things that they did to me. Not enough was done. I was the one that ended up being unlawfully evicted. I was the one that had their credit destroyed. Um, and they wanted so badly to take my car away. I did pay the excise tax on my car. I did a certified check. I mailed it out. Tomorrow I am going to pay the citation that I have. I will do it with a certified check, and I will also do certified mail when I mail that out, because that letter that I got about if I don't pay that citation, my license will be suspended. And I'm someone with a completely clean driving record, like completely clean. When I went to Malden, I got a ton of parking tickets, but that doesn't affect your license. But even then, I hadn't gotten parking tickets in years until I moved to Malden. And that citation that I got in September of last year, I appealed it. And like I said, I missed a court date, and I asked for another court date, and they said they would give it to me. And then a few days later, I got the letter in the mail that if I didn't pay the citation, that my license would be suspended. So I'm really like showing the hell that I'm going through. You know, um, yeah, it was pretty bad. It really is, and I'm also showing the strength that I had to survive in the worst of times. And one of the scariest times was when I was sleeping in my car, and I couldn't really turn on the heat too much because I barely had gas. And that night it was raining, it was cold, and I was in my car and I was freezing. And I was like, am I going to get through the night, And thank God I did, because I wanted to live. I still want to live. I have a lot of life ahead of me. And I did what I needed to do when I didn't have a roof over my head. I would spend the day at public libraries. I would pull up my laptop, put on my headphones, and, watch TV and movies. And then, sometimes I would take pictures of myself and post them on TikTok. That's how I would spend, my entire day. So I would have somewhere safe to stay during the day. And whenever I wanted to eat something, I would go to Market Basket. And I would go to the Market Basket cafe and hang out there. And that's where I would eat all my 3 meals, at the cafe at Market Basket. And, then at night, I would go to the Planet Fitness and hang out at night. The Planet Fitnesses that were open 24 hours during the week. But on weekends, they're not open 24 hours. And that resulted in me sleeping in my car on several occasions. But these were all the things that I did to survive. During that time, I still had a security camera on the dashboard of my car. Whenever I would go to a hotel, I would plug in a security camera in the hotel room. And I do have a security camera right now in my hotel room, plugged in. And there were times where I felt unsafe and I would record people. And, many people say that's an invasion of privacy. And it is to a degree. But for me, if I feel unsafe, all that goes out the window. I'm going to record myself or other people if I feel unsafe. Because people act differently when the camera is on. And that has saved my life. I haven't had so much privacy because I've been telling my story and recording videos. And that's unlike me. I'm usually a pretty quiet, private person. But, my life has been destroyed, and these videos have helped me to feel so much safer. And they've made such a difference. And I've had the opportunity to tell my story. So I have less privacy. But that, for me, goes out the window when I feel unsafe. My privacy, who cares? If I'm still alive, then that's the most important thing. Yeah. So, I went through hell. And I am alive today, and I'm telling my story. And I'm going to continue to tell my story. And I'm just going to try to do everything I can to make sure something like this doesn't happen again to me. Because, right now, I'm still technically homeless. When I say when I was homeless, that meant like when I didn't have a roof over my head. But, right now I am in a hotel room, and I'm going to book another month at this hotel. But I still don't have a permanent place to live. I still look online for, apartments, and I still look for jobs, and I still haven't had any luck. And that's very unfortunate. But I look almost every day because I do want to find permanent housing. But in the time being, I just tried to do everything I can to remain safe. And I am optimistic that I will eventually find a permanent place to live, and this hell will be over. And eventually I will fix my credit and have this credit score that I should have. It will take time, but I am going to fix all of this. These horrendous things that happen to me, I'm going to fight and fix them and get my life back on track, because none of these things should have happened to me. It was just pure evil what happened to me. And I'm always going to tell my story because I just have to. These people can't get away with it. So thank you for listening. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.